This edition of Mac Voices is sponsored by Rogue Amoeba, makers of Fission, the streamlined audio editor for Mac OS X. Audio editing doesn't have to be a chore. If you need to crop or trim audio, join multiple files, or split one long file into many, Fission will get you set quickly. Plus, Fission works without the quality loss caused by other audio editors, so you can get perfect quality even when editing MP3s and AAC files. And if you need to convert audio, Fission can do that too, working with all popular audio formats. Interested? Get Fission for 20% off with coupon code MacVoices13. Don't delay. Download the free trial from rogueamoeba.com right now, then purchase online. Thanks to Rogue Amoeba for sponsoring this edition of Mac Voices. Mac Voices is at Macworld iWorld 2013 in San Francisco. I'm Chuck Joyner. I'm in the CrashPlan booth talking to Mike Evangelist of CrashPlan. Mike, it's good to see you again.
Hey Chuck, great to see you. Welcome to the booth.
Thank you. Thank you. A nice, bright new booth, I do believe.
Yes, well, we had a little bit smaller space last year. When we decided to get this bigger space, we needed bigger furniture, as it were. And especially, I don't know if you can see this, but we're proud of our cloud here, since we're all about cloud backup.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's great, and you're so green.
That's our color, and we wanted everybody who came in the booth to be able to know who to talk to when they get here.
I wish more booths would do that. But that's a whole other discussion. When you and I talked last year, CrashPlan had just had a very nice infusion of funding. What did you do with the money?
Well, I mean, it's an ongoing process, of course, but we're using it to expand our R&D, so more engineers, more new products coming in the pipeline, and to expand geographically. For example, since we talked last, we now have an office in Sydney, Australia, and we have data center in Australia, so we can serve customers in Australia instead of them having to back up over the ocean to our US data centers. We now have local data centers, and we'll be expanding in other geographies as well. And then just sort of bigger and better promotions. We've got to get the word out there about CrashPlan, so that, and that's part of what we're doing here.
CrashPlan still, it's what I use, and I don't mind saying that, and I'm very happy with it. And the funny thing is, recently I had an issue where I needed to recover a file that I had accidentally deleted. I went in, found the file, pulled it back, no problem. It's like, well, this is nice. I mean, it actually works like it's supposed to. And I've also used other backup services, and they don't work that easily. So it's nice to see that you all really do deliver on what you say.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it worked out the way it's supposed to. And, you're going to think I'm joking a little bit, but I'm really serious. We've actually literally had meetings about, we call CrashPlan a backup solution. But we've talked about, should we really call it that? Because what people pay us for is to restore their files, not to back them up. And so we wondered, is there a way, do we call this CrashPlan Restore or something like that? Because that's what it's all about. And that's all the work that goes on behind the scenes, in our operations center and our data centers, to make sure that when you need that file, you can actually get it back. And whether it's on the original machine that it came from, or on another machine if your machine is incapacitated, or on a mobile device. If you forgot your PowerPoint when you went on a trip, and you can just call it right up. So that's what it's all about, is getting it back.
The other thing too about the CrashPlan client software is it's fairly sophisticated. It lets me manage when I want to back up, how much bandwidth I want to use, how much redundancy I want as far as versioning. You've kind of thought of everything and made it fairly accessible.
Well, we tried to, and it's sort of like peeling an onion, I guess I would describe it. That when you first install CrashPlan, it's very simple. Basically, you can click Start, and the backup will start of your home directory to our cloud backup. But if you want to get more sophisticated, you have all the tools there. You can specify different files to different destinations. You can back up to hard drives. You can set up schedules to say, well, these are really important files, so I want them backed up every 15 minutes. But these files are maybe less important, and so you can back those up once a day. And it's that flexibility, I think, that it's really helped us kind of grow, especially among the, this crowd here at iWorld. A lot of enthusiasts, a lot of people who have been in the Mac community for a long time. So they know us, and they appreciate this kind of extra level of I mean, it's one thing to have a beautiful UI and something like, I don't mean to disparage Time Machine, but Time Machine has a really simple UI. You plug in a hard drive, it says, would you like to back up? But if you want to get a little more granular about what can I back up and what does this really mean and what time of day does it do it, it doesn't offer you any of those things. And so we try to have the best of both worlds.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's anybody that has any kind of backup that's better than none. But it's also nice to have the sophistication that CrashPlan offers for people that generate a lot of content, and like you say, maybe don't need to back up some things all the time, or maybe they need to back that up all the time immediately.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you can choose. But if you don't care to investigate all the different features, like I said, you just click Start and quit the application, and it just does its thing. Okay.
We also need to mention, anytime CrashPlan comes up, I don't just have to back up to your service. I can back up to another computer. And that is such a nice feature that, kind of pulls people in, because now I can send it to my sister's house and have it backed up there.